Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Oakheart Sentinels and the Feyshapeper subclass. This is a mod made by Nightly ST. They've done a great job with this. There's 6 different subclasses for this mod. What the Oakheart Sentinel is, it's basically the Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition version of the Druid, where it's a Druid that gets a companion, kind of similar to the Ranger Beastmaster, where they get their pet, but the Oakheart Sentinel, they get their own pet. And it's a spellcaster. You can kind of do a bit of a hybrid by also melee attacking, because you will get, with certain subclasses, the cantrip Oak Branch. So you can go a few different routes with this, but I'm going to show you how to make the most out of this build. Now, the Feyshaper is a cool class because you get spells that allows you to turn enemies into different forms, like a cat or a rat. And as you level up, you get different ones, like you can turn them into an owlbear even. And when they're in that form, they are controlled by you. So you can turn an enemy to your side. And as a nice bonus, you can actually do this on 2 targets as we level up higher. So are we going for the full build guide, as well as the gear, and also a combat tutorial for this. So for our cantrips, I like to go with Thorn Whip. Pulling a creature close to us is always nice. Frostbite for disadvantage on attack rolls is good. And Primal Savagery for acid damage. These do require Mistress spells mod. Otherwise, you'd want to take probably Guidance and Resistance or some of the other spells there, but Mistress spells really does enhance this. In addition, we also got spells at level 1 here. So Create or Destroy Water. What's nice about this is we can set up to do double damage with an Ice Knife, which will double the cold damage of that. This also can be cast if we're silenced, so that's a nice option as a backup if you have to. And for our ability scores, we're going to dump our Strength and Intelligence. We're going to go all in on our dexterity with 16, 14 constitution, and 18 wisdom. We get a nice +3 bonus here exclusive to this class, so that's how we're able to take our wisdom up to all the way to 18. And skill proficiencies take persuasion. That's going to be an essential one. Now, I'll be going over the full leveling guide here first, and then our gear options. But Nightly ST is also in my Discord server, so the link is in the description if you want to join that, as they answer quite a few questions around their mods, and they're just an absolute blast to talk to. So at level 2 here, we get ourselves the Oakheart Casting Expertise. So all Oakheart Sentinel classes use summoned allies and spirit companions. To keep them safe in the battlefield, they learn to carefully shape their offensive spells so they do not hit them. Similar to the Wizard Evocation, giving the ability to sculpt their spells, same thing here. Now, what's cool about this is actually the spell selection similar to how you would select spells as a sorcerer. You only get to pick 1 per level, and you can replace a spell. At level 1 here, I think that Thunderwave is a good one, but you can also go with the Healing Word if you want a bonus action spell. But Thunderwave's nice if you can ever push someone off of a ledge or off a cliff. It's a great option. Now, we also got the Blackbird shape, which can turn us into a beast, and we can fly around to reach some spots that we may not be able to reach early on in the game. Then we also get the Curse of the Badger and the Boar, which allow you to turn an enemy into one of those, which is cool. Level 2 spells. Spike Growth is probably the best choice here for crowd control. However, Old Person, another good option. So go with whatever of these you prefer. We can swap out Spike Growth later once we get the summon at level 7, which I'll show you guys. And for level 2, we'll take Hold Person there. And we're going to take our Wisdom all the way up to 20 here, just for the best spell casting possible. At level 5, we get ourselves the Companion's Bond. So your bond, it strengthens your proficiency bonuses added to the armor class and damage roll of an animal companion. We also get the Double Curse, which is a huge buff. So with our spells that allows us to do enchantments, namely the Curse of the Wolf and the Curse of the Panther we now have, we can actually target 2 targets with these for 5 turns. It's huge. Double Curse is really awesome as a subclass feature. And for our next leveled spell, Tidal Wave from Mistress Spells. Best choice here because this can set up water, which we can also turn into ice to make difficult terrain, which is really, really good. And then for our next leveled spell, you can go with Counterspell. Counterspell is very useful. Plant Growth is nice too if you want to do a different type of crowd control. In addition, Moonbeam is liked by some people, and you can also go with, again, Counterspell or even Venomous Barbs here. So I think the best choice to go with the Counterspell, so we'll roll with that here. And then once we get ourselves to level 7, this is where we get some big buffs as well. So we get the Exceptional Training. Our Animal Companion can dash, disengage, and help as a bonus action. You also get the Curse of the Rothe and the Arachnid, so you can turn them into a spider. And then we get ourselves level 4 spells, which Conjure, Minor Elemental, and Woodland Being are huge, because this can also summon another summon. Your summon can summon a summon, but also it has the ability to do Spike Growth for us. So we can take off Spike Growth, as that's able to hold it for us, as long as we keep it away from combat, because if it gets taken, it'll lose that. And then we can take Minor Elemental here. So that's a good choice if you wanted to go with a replacement spell. Typically, I don't go for those, but that's a nice one here. Now for next level, Grasping Vine's actually not bad of a spell because this is a bonus action. It can pop it up and it can grab targets for you. We'd also like to go with Ice Storm here, which for some reason will not show up. I think that's an issue with my mods. But Blight's another decent one. Necrotic damage. We can take our Grasping Vine. We'll swap it out later. And we can go with ability score improvement to take up our dexterity to 18 for better armor class. I think that that's a good choice. But you can also go with the alert feat. Now we also get the Curse of the Bear and the Curse of the Owl Bear at level 9. Big power spike again. See, we got the Ice Storm there. So I actually think the best choice is to take Conjure Elemental and then swap out. We can swap out our Grasping Vine for our Ice Storm here because we want to have Ice Storm. So for some reason, it might just be my mod. Next, we got ourselves level 10, the Bestial Fury, giving them an extra attack. It's hype because now they can do a bit more damage. And we'll take Insect Plague. Great crowd control. It creates difficult terrain so people walk through it slowly, and they take extra piercing damage, which is good because we can also apply the Ballast Armor to double the damage there, as you'll likely have it around this time. At level 11, we get the Just Chaos, so cause your enemies to attack each other or stand still buffled. So that's cool. I'll show you what this looks like in combat. And we get the Curse of the Moon. The moon haunts you. You bestow an ancient curse of lycanthropy to your target and force them to fight on your side. So yes, the moon haunts them. And for our next level spell, you can also go with the, there's a few fun ones, like Wall of Thorns is actually pretty strong for crowd control purposes. Fisher, if you have level 6 spell, Mistress spells, download it. And also Conjure Fey can be nice too. In line with the summoning build. We also got ourselves Hold Monster, which is a very effective spell, so you can also roll with that. Fisher just seems to be the most powerful spell to go with, so we're going to go with that there, as a Mistress Spells does have some fun ones like that. And then for our final spell, there's also Harm, which can reduce the target's health points, which is fun. Lesser Regeneration will give 10 health points per turn for 10 turns, and that's 100 total healing, which is not as good, obviously. Healing, big burst, so you can go with that. Sunbeam's also nice. You can blind all creatures in your sight. But I'm going to go with Conjure Fey because it's nice to have more summons. It's just plain and simple. And for our final feat, we can go with Alert or a Dexterity improvement. Your choice here. Alert's really nice too because that +5 initiative can be a game changer when you get into combat. Now, what we're going to roll with, I guess I'll show off the combat, or I guess I'll show off the gear here. So I'm just using the Druid armor without the leaf sleeves just to show off. I guess it was more so thematic for that. But we can go with the Ballast Armor, and this can actually be very, if we want to become pretty offensive and a good support, we can go with this, as the Ballast Armor will double all piercing damage. I have Fowler Aloof, which is a great weapon for early game, if you wanted to go with that. You can also go with Nirelna, which is kind of funny. It sounds weird to put this on them, but it's a good weapon. I personally like if you go with the evil route, the Shar Spear of the Evening, because this can give you dark vision. So what we can do with this, since we're like an enchantment type character, we can hide out in our darkness and have our animals help out and take out the enemy for us, and then we can also cast spells to make them turn into enemies while we're just laughing in darkness. So this is probably the most offensive version of it. You can also add in Mark of Heshker if you want to go with a full, like, true spell casting build. But I'm going to roll with this in a shield for 28 armor class. This also is piercing damage, so if we do attack with it, we can deal a little bit extra damage. There's also the Oak Branch here, so this is another option if we want to go with that. Basically, the Oak Branch gives you an additional... It's supposed to add your wisdom to the attack rolls, but I don't see it there. It gives you the Oak's Aim, though, on our ranged weapons. So that's a +5 to our ranged weapon attacks, so that's quite nice. We got the Hood of the Weave here for increased spell save DC and spell attack rolls, cloak protection, Ballast Armor. I like the Hellas Gloves for better spell casting and also a little extra fire damage, so if we do want to use ranged weapon attacks. You can also go with the Winter's Crutches if you want to use the cold damage, because we'll apply Encrusted with Frost, or even the Gloves of Belligerent Skies if you're doing thunder or lightning damage, although that's not going to be a big focus of this build. Hellas Gloves, just nice counter. It does a little bit of everything here. And the Evasive Shoes, armor class, and acrobatics. I also win the Amulet of Greater Health for 135 health. Killer Sweeter for critical hits. Ring of Protection for increased armor class, as well as the Hellrider Longbow for +3 to initiative, and also can apply Fairy Fire on attacks. So what this is going to end up looking like, I would recommend taking the Staff of Spell Power to actually give yourself a free cast, and then upcast the Conjure Elemental so you can get a level 6 spell off for free, so that we don't even have to worry about, you know, wasting our spell slots on that. We also have our classic companions here. I personally like the bear, your vanilla flavored bear. Keep your wolves away from Shadowheart, not so itsy bitsy spider, bring our Vil Omens for your enemies, and just Dumbor. The Raven and the Bear, I would say, are the best summons here, because the Raven and the Bear give yourself the ability to summon in additional summons. For some reason that did not appear, so we'll try the Reaper's Tainted Bear here. So they also have the Oakheart companions, and there's also a bear, there's a wolf, etc. So hopefully this one will summon it in. There we go, perfect. So we got the Angry Bear Spirit, which it also has the Ursine reinforcements to bolt in some more bears. So you got bear on bear crime against the enemies here. This is a nice big glowy bear. It's cute. So yeah, we got ourselves the bears. And also, if you have Marka Heshker handy, what you can do with Marka Heshker is you can pop that on to give yourself another free cast. I always recommend doing that if you want to make the most out of these, because then you can give yourself a free cast of like your minor elemental, or Conjure Fey, which I'm going to summon in the Dust Hag. This is a Mistress spell. So there we go. We have the Dust Hag. If you want to, you could also use the Infernal Rapier, which will give you a Cambion summon, which is really strong. And then I'll also summon in our Ice Methods here. So pop those down. There we go. We got Ice Methods. So we got a few summons here to help us stay alive. And that's not even going off with the Woodland Being, because the Woodland Being will also give ourselves a nice benefit. And it also has the Spike Growth and Fallen Lover, so we can pop in even more summons. It's crazy. So yeah, look at that. Pretty wild. We got a nice resistance to poison damage. We got the whole gang here, and then once we get out into combat, we can turn enemies into different animals. So I'll show off what this looks like in combat. So as you can see, the gang is all here. We got Oopie Goopy, we got all the guys here. We're just gonna drop down and start combat. So Ice Storm can be a nice way to create a bit of crowd control, because with water set up, we can also enhance our Storm Sorcerers or our Tempest Cleric. So I'd recommend having one of those with us. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop down Tidal Wave to start combat off. This is one of my favorite ways, if you know that you're getting into a fight, just to drop that down. And we got additional force damage on that too, which is cool. So yeah, now that we have everyone with the wet applied, we can then hit them with like an Ice Knife or an Ice Storm here. And with this Ice Storm, this is going to create a difficult terrain. And of course we got counterspelled. That sucked. I took them out regardless. So yeah, we don't get to continue with that, but we can also drop down like a bonus action attack. So if you have Mind Blast, that can be pretty good for damage, because you're going to see, or it's going to probably take out a good number of these. So boom. Yeah, it hits hard. And we can just run away. Also apply the Fiendish Fire to our attacks, so we'll just camp out there. Our Water Myrmidon is also nice because they can set up and deal cold damage as well. So yes, we went down, but they got the Explosive Icicle. And they also have the Healing Vapors, which can heal targets, yeah. However, this will also create water, so that can be really nice. So we'll just go ahead and try to find someone that's alive. I think Mind Blast ended up taking out most of them, unfortunately, so we can go and just drop this down over here, I guess, and create ice with that. So we have a little bit of ice surfaces to help slow things down. Yeah, that went a little bit better than I expected. Obviously, Mind Blast being a very overpowered spell. It's an Illithid ability, so not everyone's going to play with that. But another thing is, this many summons, especially in Act 3, they have volleys, so they're going to be able to hit multiple people at a time. Now, the best part about our Woodland Being is Spike Growth, so we can just drop this down right there. Spike Growth, it's now spiky, so then they can just run away and keep them safe. So put them out of harm's way and just keep them out there. Then we also have our little methods here, which we can just use as little they can basically just dash and get right into the fight, so you want to use them as like kind of an exploding attack, because they have their Death Burst, which will do cold damage when they explode, which is really nice. So perfect. What's nice about all of our summons is they're going to draw the aggro for us. So we even got our Angry Bear Spirit there to run in and do some damage. We got our Woodwoad there to entangle foes. We'll just put him right in the back line. I'll bring my Hag out, because the Hag is pretty effective at applying some spells that'll put them to sleep. So you can sleep someone like that. So we'll put them to sleep, and too many health points. We can't sleep anyone else. We'll just sleep this random person in the middle of Baldur's Gate there. They're now sleeping. Good night, and sleep tight. Now we got our big bear here, the big bad bear. Have to take a weird path away around because of all my other summons. It also has the honeyed paw and all those goodies that come with the bear. It also has the bonus action dash, so don't be using the action dash. Use your bonus action to get in close and attack the sleeping enemies. You could also just wait until next turn to attack them, but The honey pot can remove their weapon too, which is pretty good. So boom, drop their weapon, critical hit, perfect. And then they can go again with another attack, which is perfect. So we'll just go with another bear attack and bonk, big slash. That's great. So then we also have our other ice method there, and we can drop down a cone of, or I guess, ooh, see if I can hit them there. Nice, hit them with the cold, and that created ice surface. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And our bear will just act as bears do and do what they do best by running to the enemy. Unfortunately, all our crowd control, it doesn't think about that. So yeah, we're down to the last two enemies here. And we got, ooh, that's a fun one, Command Grovel. I hate Command Grovel. So we're going to counterspell that because that could have ended our run right there. Command is such a scary spell, so that's a great example why counterspell is so useful. Now, I didn't even get to show off the class benefit yet, so because our last turn was so damaging. But you can turn enemies into like the Curse of the Moon, Curse of the Bear. These ones you can use per battle. So you can see here, we'll get into a little bit of a closer range to use this spell. And we can apply it to 2 targets. 50% chance of hitting, 85% chance of hitting. Perfect. All right, one of them turned into a bear. So we now have the bear under our control, which is kind of funny because once they turn out a bear shape in a couple turns, they're gonna get back in our face. So we'll go fight someone else here and just try to pretend that that didn't happen. There's an encounter over here that I'll get into, and yeah, I'll show off what this can do. So we're getting ourselves into, I guess I'll use Curse of the Moon because the moon haunts you, and we'll just go boom boom, turn them into wolves. There we go. And I guess now it aggroed against, I'm not sure why these are all red, but I guess we'll have to see what happened there. These are our wolves, Curse of the Werewolf. They might actually be considered enemies. We'll have to see. But we can also just cop. If we didn't have a, since we have a concentration set, this one does require concentration. I'm just going to attack them and create a barrier to hide in. So we have our darkness here. Oh, that took them out of it. Perfect. So we'll just hide in our darkness. And I'll just end everyone's turn there. We'll just see what happens in terms of combat and see if they attack us. Oh. Claws in the Dark Urge. They attacked us. We blocked it. That is fine. Because we're in darkness, so we're pretty hard to hit. Yeah, so I guess it made them hostile because typically in combat... Oh, yeah, I think I messed up by starting off combat by turning them into a... enemies. Normally you would control them, but right now they're controlling themselves. And then my team is actually attacking each other. It's kind of funny. So I think I messed up something with the summons. Oh, the bear's gonna attack our bears. Yeah, for some reason it turned all of our teammates and even myself into an enemy, which I don't know why, but it happens, I guess. So we do have pretty strong. Yeah, see, you can take them out of that, and then we're just gonna apply this again. So I'll I guess we'll go with the curse of, we'll turn them into a boar, or we'll turn them into an owlbear. We can hit one of them and hit the other. Pretty high success chance. Perfect. And now we got them on our side, so I'll just skip everyone's turns again because they're just going to start fighting each other for whatever reason. And we'll see what the bear does. Bear attacks bear again. Bear on bear crime. And I'm lethargic. We got our owl bears there. We'll just end our turn. See what they do. They're probably going to start attacking each other. That's pretty funny. Crushing flight. Whoa! That was a big explosion. And it just landed on the ice. Yeah, so sometimes funny interactions can happen. This is likely due to me starting combat by turning them into it. The crushing flight is so funny. But yeah, that is the Oakheart Sentinels. Typically, it would go a lot different than this. We have all of our summons. You'd want to use those spells not to start combat, but actually to do it in the middle of combat. So just wanted to cover this, as the Oakheart Sentinels by Nightly ST is incredible. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.